Good morning. My name is Katina Caldwell. I'm the budget analyst for schools in the budget department. This morning we're going to do a training for your in-service for this year. This morning we're going to start with introduction, which we just did. We're going to do the staff assignments. I'm going to go through the staff assignments and I'm going to tell you who's in the budget department this year. There's also we're going to talk about the budget intranet page. There's a few reminders what we need to go through, and then we'll have some questions, or there'll be a slide at the end where you can direct your questions to. The budget staff assignments this year, as I said before, my name is Katina Caldwell. I am the budget analyst for all schools. That includes Restart Schools and Learning Communities. Shakara Hester is the budget the budget analyst for all departments. Cynthia Holland is the budget assistant for all schools, including Restart Schools and Learning Communities. Alicia Jones is the budget analyst for Fund 3, which is the Title I federal funds. Wanda Woods is the budget analyst for all federal funds except for Title I and the federal program and the Fund 9 federal programs. We also have Kendra Lightfoot, who is the budget assistant for all departments. Tasha Williams is now the budget specialist. Candace Clifton is the director of budget operations, and Sabrina Harris is the budget director for budget development. If you have questions about or concerns about contracts, budget transfers, budget status reports, requisitions, or check requests that are over $5,000, please contact your budget analyst. If it's under $5,000, please contact your budget assistant. The budget intranet page, this is something we also discussed last year, but we also wanted to keep it top of mind. And that is where you can find all the links to important documents such as the staff directory, which has all of our phone numbers and contact information if you need it. There's also information there that contains to any documents and forms. And there's also an FAQ, which is the frequently asked questions. Let's go through a few budget reminders. We noticed last year that there were a lot of questions about PRC 987, which is also known as cash conversion. This is where the principal has an open position, but will not be using it this fiscal year. The principal can decide to use that funding for that position for additional funding. The principal and the learning community superintendent will determine how to utilize these funds. The budget department cannot tell you how these funds will be utilized. That is we get that direction from the principal and the learning community. Budget inquiries. This will give you the real-time account balances. Remember that your BSR is only updated once a day. It is not going to give you information about the account in real time. Please go to the budget inquiry. If you have questions about how to get to a budget inquiry, please don't hesitate to contact me or your analyst. When sending emails, please provide your budget code, and please provide the budget code that's pertaining to the question that you're asking. We get a lot of emails, and a lot of times we have to send it back because we do not know what the budget code is that you're asking about. So it will be helpful, and it'll be quicker for us to get that information back to you if you have that budget code attached to the email. Also, when you're sending requests about increasing a PO, always include that budget code. That also will help us to get that information back to you as quickly as possible. Once again, who to contact, and when you have inquiries or requisitions or questions, anything that's over $5,000, please contact your budget analyst. Anything that's under $5,000, you can contact your budget assistant. Shed services should have a PO before the service starts. You should never start a service or a service contract prior to having that PO in hand. The school newsletter printing should be on a PO also before you start the service. That again is also a service contract, and you would always need a purchase order prior to service starting. No gift cards. The district does not allow anyone to purchase gift cards. We also do not do employee reimbursements. All donations require a written statement about how to use the donated funds. All donations without a written statement on how to use the funds from the vendor are subject to the CMS guidelines about food, use for staff, and incentives for staff. If you have questions about this, please contact your analyst or the budget assistant. We will be more than happy to help you with that. Staff snacks, refreshments for training and internal conferences can only be $4.50, and that includes the tip and the tax of 8.25%. Sales tax credits cannot be moved with the BT. Please contact your analyst to move via journal entry. We need to move that via journal entry, so you definitely have to contact your analyst. You cannot do that with the BT. If you do it with the BT, that creates a negative in your account. Every Student Succeeds Act, which we call ESSA, a department will move money to your school to purchase items for that school. The money can only be used or spent by that department unless they tell you otherwise. There are certain instances where the department will allow you to spend the ESSA money, but in most instances, you will have to, that money is spent by the department. Requisition types. When you're doing requisitions, regular requisitions usually start with the 4XX code. Services start with the 3XX code. If the requisition for an installation and it's the smallest cost of the total, use the regular requisition type. So sometimes you have an installation that's on the requisition. If it is smaller than the amount that you're purchasing, that has to be a regular requisition. You don't have to change it to service contract. If you have questions or concerns, please contact me. And my email is Katina, Katina, 1.caldwell @cms.k12.nc.us.